What is up, everybody? Cody here. Where'd you get that? What I'm going to go ahead and do is share my top 5 Marvel deaths that are in my collection. So there are quite a few that I have in my PC, but these 5 stand out to me, and I just wanted to share them. I think they're really cool to have in my collection. So starting off right away, we have the death of Elektra. This is when Bullseye kills her. And just a really great cover too. I love the yellow on it. You have, Daredevil there in the background, but a great fight scene right here between Bullseye and Elektra. So very cool comic. This was actually a giveaway win off of Instagram. A really solid giveaway win for sure. Next up we have Ultimate Death of Spider-Man. This ushers in the Miles Morales era. I think he debuted a couple of months after this comic book. So how does he die? Well, Green Goblin, during his fight with Green Goblin, he dies. Well, I guess they both die. So he calls upon his good pal, Johnny Storm, to help out. But unfortunately, Green Goblin absorbed all of Johnny Storm's powers, and it made him extremely powerful. So not good, not a wise move. But Spider-Man, with his tricky ways, he managed to use a fire hydrant at some point on, right here, on Green Goblin, cooled him off. And there's a funny monologue where Peter's like, I should have got Iceman. That would have made more sense. But yeah, let's see this final end here. So we have this final goodbye, and he tosses Mary Jane out, like, get out of here. And this is the final moment here where he crushes Green Goblin, tells him to shut up. And there's this big old explosion. And that's what ultimately kills him. So let's see that final page here. Right there. Boom. So a really cool story. Yeah, man. Death of Spider-Man. Again, Ultimate Spider-Man, of course. Alright. Moving on to my next one. Infinity Gauntlet, issue number 4. We have a ton of Marvel deaths here. And Thanos just goes to town. There's a lot of cool moments. But this was great to see all the heroes come together, and a lot of them had some pretty good high moments, and some of them did not. And they, some died more horribly than others, if that's even possible, but I think so. So the Hulk and Drax have a really cool moment here where they're, beating up Thanos. But this is the part that I think is really funny. So if you see here, the Hulk, he's just beating up Thanos, and Thanos like grows, and he tries to swat the Hulk like he's a fly, and the Hulk just jumps out of the way, right? Well, we still have all of this stuff of heroes still fighting Thanos. This is the last time we see the Hulk. He just jumped out of the way, and he just like peaced out. Like he's like, okay, I'm done. This isn't gonna work for me. And yeah, that's just kind of funny, because you see all the heroes, man. Even Thor, right? Like Thor over here, he's got the drop on Thanos. Dr. Doom gets in the way, and his greed really ruins the momentum that Thor had going for him. Thor's like, get out of the way, and he messed everything up. So Thor fights Thanos, and he loses Mjolnir, which means that he only has a small amount of time. He's got 60 seconds, and he's going to turn back into Donald Blake. And if that happens, of course, he's just going to die in there in space. So, a lot of people are just dying. There's Thor trying to get back, Donald Blake trying to get back to Mjolnir to become Thor again. And so he didn't just run off, right? He went back into the fight, not like the Incredible Hulk. Of course, Thor still dies, but regardless, he did not run away. Now look at this. This is messed up. Yeah, there's a head inside of that helmet. Tony Stark is, he did. Alright, this is another brutal one too. When she is killing Spider-Man, she crushes his head basically with that stone. Yeah, man. So a lot of deaths. This was a big story. Great cover, of course, by the fantastic artist, late artist George Perez. Love that issue. Here we go. Captain America, issue 25. This was the incredible run by Ed Brubaker. And this comic book is the one that got me back into comics. So after high school, I stopped buying comics. You know, I became a poor college kid, and the comic books were just not anything that I cared about. You know, they were not my priority. But it hit the news, man. People were talking about the death of Captain America, and I didn't have a comic book, an LCS in my area, and I knew that my mom was going to visit my brother, and in a city where there was a comic book where my brother lived, and I was like, Mom, get me this comic, and she did. Shout out to my mom. She actually got one of the variant covers as well, so it was really awesome. But this got me. I ended up buying most of the run for Ed Brubaker, this Captain America storyline, starting with issue 1. The whole Winter Soldier stuff was amazing. That blew my mind. There's a lot of really great stuff coming out of that. So this is why this one, to me, is really important in my PC. I don't think I'll ever let go of this one. All right, last but not least, the death of Kraven. Now, I say death, right? I mean, they all eventually come back. Like, he didn't really die here. He went into some dimensional thing and came back, and he went through like some time loop. I don't know. It was kind of weird. It's been a while since I read it. But he's back, right? And then he dies again, and he came back again. And of course, all the heroes here came back once the right person got it. Now, I think he's still dead, right? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with Ultimate Spider-Man, but I'm assuming he's still dead. But we still have Peter Parker and other, iterations. And of course, we all know that Elektra came back like 2 issues later from this. I don't know. Anyway, Kraven, Death of Kraven. This one kind of lasted for a while. Now, we have seen him back as well. But this was a really cool story. This is my CGC signed by Mike Zeck right there. Kraven finally, takes out Spider-Man, and he realizes he's pretty much done. He has accomplished everything he's needed to. And he even dressed up as Spider-Man for a bit to see, to prove that he could be better. So Mike Zeck, great cover. I really enjoyed this storyline as well. Kraven, I think, is a great character. I haven't even seen the movie. I honestly don't think I will. I'm just not interested in it. Aaron Taylor Johnson looks really good, but I didn't like how they changed some of the story for Kraven. So that's probably why I'm not going to watch it. But, I think some other people watched it and they liked it, and that's great. Some other people didn't. Not a big deal. So I also wanted to make sure that I mentioned that once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm actually going to give this one away. So I'll also link in the description to join in on the giveaway. I'm still kind of a way off. I still need over 100. But once we get there, I will give this one away. Gladly give it away. So if you're interested and you have not subscribed, be sure to do that. Let me know which are your favorite Marvel deaths in the comic books, whether they're in your PC or not. But that's all I got. Thank you so much for hanging out.